One of the things that I think that as a society we should never forget, and I agree. Formerly of Fox, she's got her own podcast, Megyn Kelly, from weeks ago when she said she's tired of people complaining about guns. I talked to one of my producers, Michael, all the time because he's he's got such a good heart, such a sensitive man, and he just wants to do away with all guns. And if we could just influence one life, I think that it would change the world. That's Michael. It's a very altruistic way to view things, and I applaud him for his heart and soul being in the right place. But the reality is, Megyn Kelly made a very, very accurate point months ago. She said she's sick and tired of people bitching and moaning about guns. She said because they're never going away in our culture. We have over 330 million American citizens in this country. We have over 400 million guns. That is a fact. We've had politicians on Capitol Hill for years complaining about the need for more stringent gun laws. We have those stringent gun laws in places like New York and California and New Jersey. We don't necessarily have them in Alabama, Florida, Texas, etc. We got a rep in Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that ain't even calling for us to be the United States any longer. That ain't even calling for us to be a union any longer. She said the country should be separated. Right versus left. Republican versus Democrats. Liberal versus conservative. Two different countries. It's not going away. So when I read these stories, like the Uvalde shooting, and it's the 1-year anniversary of the shooting, and then you want to hear about what changes have taken place. What have we learned? What has changed? The answer is nothing. Somebody got to tell y'all, so I'm going to tell y'all. Somebody got to tell you. The answer is nothing. Robb Elementary School, May 24th, 2022, led to the deaths of 19 students and 2 teachers. There were widespread calls for accountability and new gun laws. Yes, several people lost their jobs, including the chief of the small school police force and another 5 officers. I watched that video. They should have been fired on the spot. And by the way, all of those officers should be ashamed of themselves. Your job, in some capacity, was to protect and serve. There were children in there. You heard shootings, and you still waited forever to go inside. I saw the video. I watched it. They should have been fired on the spot. You may not deserve to go to jail for it, but you had little to no courage. You were weak and pathetic, and you have no business wearing any kind of badge. You didn't want to risk your life. That is totally understandable about a human being. But when you sign up to be any kind of law enforcement official, I think it's safe to say that comes with the job. And I know some of the weakest people on the planet Earth who would put their lives on the line any day of the week to save the lives of children. Elementary school children. I ain't the bravest brother in the world. I don't like trouble. And I don't like confronting trouble. But I can tell you right now, if I was in the streets and I saw a child in danger, I would try to save that child before I ran. I would try to save that child before I stood there and did nothing. And I think I'm speaking for about 98% of human beings on the planet. Children are something special. If we risk anything for anybody, it's them. Those officers slow rolled to the rescue. And 19 people died. 19 people. 2 of them were teachers. I'm sorry, 19 students died and 2 additional people were teachers. 21. Listen to some of the changes that they say has taken place since the Uvalde shooting. There's been no changing in gun laws. The focus has been on increased safety precautions and better equipment to combat a shooter. Local police now have additional ballistic shields and helmets, as well as tools for breaching barricaded doors. Oh, I see. Let's arm the police officers. Let's arm the folks from the sheriff department. Let's make sure we do everything to keep them safe, as opposed to the children. As opposed to the children. This is disgusting to read. It really is. Then you got a quote from somebody almost a year now, and honestly, nothing has changed, said Jesse Rizzo, the uncle of one of the massacre victims, told the Uvalde school board a week before the anniversary of the shooting. There had been movement in the Texas legislature when a bill that would have raised the age to purchase an AR-15 style rifle to 21 from 18 received a favorable vote in the House committee. But the bill missed a key deadline and failed to receive a vote in the full Texas House. So in other words, it never received a full vote in the Texas House because you missed the deadline. Am I supposed to believe that you did that by accident? I bet you if it was money in your pocket, you'd have made that deadline. I bet you if it was something you wanted to do badly enough, you would have made that deadline. I bet you if it was something to secure the well-being of your children, you would have made that deadline. It's a damn shame.